The crystal chandeliers of the Whitmore Grand Hotel lobby blazed with afternoon light, casting geometric shadows across marble floors, polished to a mirror shine. Constance Whitmore walked through the space she had designed herself, but today her steps were not her own. Leon Hale moved beside her, half a step back, his hand resting at the small of her back as if guiding a dance partner. Beneath the pressed wool of his black suit jacket, something cold and hard pressed against her spine. A weapon. Constance knew the rules without being told. No shouting, no running, no reaching for her phone. When she passed the janitor mopping near the concierge desk, she made her move. Her hand dropped to her side, fingers forming shapes in the air between one heartbeat and the next. "Help me. He has a weapon." The janitor's mop stopped mid-stroke, water pooling at his feet. But he did not look up. Silas Henry had learned long ago that invisible people see everything. For 3 years, he had worked the day shift at the Whitmore Grand, pushing his cleaning cart through lobbies and hallways, scrubbing floors that guests crossed without a glance downward. Every surface told him something. The scuff mark near the elevator meant someone had stumbled, probably drunk. The coffee stain by the business center indicated a meeting that had gone poorly. In a world that looked through him, excellence was his only voice. But the real reason Silas noticed everything was Matilda. His daughter was 7 years old, with dark curls that never stayed in their braids and a smile that could light up a room she could not hear. Born deaf, Matilda had taught Silas a different way of seeing the world. When your child cannot hear you call her name, you learn to watch reflections in windows and shadows on walls. Every morning before his shift, Silas dropped Matilda at the special education program 3 blocks from the hotel. They had their own language, a combination of American Sign Language and private gestures families develop over years. A tap on the wrist meant pay attention. A tug on the earlobe meant I love you. A hand over the heart meant you are safe. Other parents sometimes offered pity Silas had never requested. Some made comments about teaching a child with hands instead of words. Silas stopped trying to educate them. Matilda did not need their understanding. She needed a father who showed up, who learned her language, who made the world safe. The morning had started with an unusual request. Silas received his daily assignment from the facilities manager, but today the instructions carried extra weight. The VIP wing needed to be absolutely spotless, and all maintenance staff were told to work quickly and quietly. Do not make eye contact. Do not ask questions. Do not linger. Silas had seen Audrey Finn, the head of security, pacing the lobby more than usual, her hand constantly adjusting the earpiece that connected her to the security network. Bridget Louisa, the senior receptionist whose smile could diffuse angry guests and charm difficult vendors, had pulled Silas aside near the elevators. "We have a special situation today," she said quietly, her eyes flicking toward the executive offices. "Just keep your head down and make sure nothing goes wrong." Constance Whitmore had built an empire on the principle that luxury meant control. The Whitmore Grand was the flagship of a hotel chain that stretched across 12 cities. She had inherited wealth but earned respect, transforming outdated properties into destinations. She understood markets, read quarterly reports like novels, and could spot a failing investment 3 years before collapse. But today, for the first time in her career, Constance was not in control. Leon Hale had approached her that morning in the parking garage, emerging from behind a concrete pillar. He wore an expensive suit, spoke in measured tones, and held a weapon with casual confidence. "We are going to walk into your hotel together," he explained calmly. "You are going to smile at your employees. If you signal security or reach for your phone, people will die." The weapon pressed against her back was a constant reminder. Leon guided her through the lobby, choosing routes with fewer cameras, positioning himself so observers would see a businesswoman and her associate, nothing more. His objective was devastating. In his briefcase was a contract with forged board signatures. If Constance signed, she would transfer controlling interest to a shell corporation. The contract included clauses that would activate immediately, stripping her authority and making her termination inevitable. Leon chose the hotel because here, surrounded by employees and legacy, Constance would maintain appearances. She could not scream in a five-star lobby, but Constance had one advantage Leon had not anticipated. 3 years ago, she had sponsored a program supporting deaf children, funding scholarships and equipment. During the launch, she attended classes, watching teachers and students communicate with their hands, their whole bodies. The experience moved her to enroll in a basic sign language course, learning enough to greet students and understand simple conversations. She never imagined this gesture would become a survival tool. When she passed the janitor near the concierge desk, Constance made a decision in 3 seconds. The man was bent over his mop, but she could see his reflection in the polished floor. More importantly, she recognized him. He always arrived early, brought his daughter to the special school near the hotel, sometimes sat in the break room practicing hand shapes from a sign language manual. If anyone could read her silent cry, it would be him. Her fingers moved with practiced precision. Help me. Gun. Forced contract. Do not look up. She kept walking, her face calm, her breathing steady. Behind her, she heard the soft splash of water hitting tile, the janitor's mop resuming its rhythm. But slower now, more deliberate. Silas felt his heart hammering as he watched the reflection in the marble floor. The CEO had just signed to him. Help me, he has a weapon. His first instinct was to look up, but her final sign was clear. Do not look up. Silas kept mopping, kept breathing. If he shouted for security, Leon might panic and fire. If he ran for help, Constance would be alone with an armed man. If he did nothing, he would carry that weight forever. He had 90 seconds to decide. Silas thought of Matilda, waiting for him after school. He thought of the promise to her dying mother. Keep our daughter safe, come home every night. But he also thought of the promise to himself. Never stand by while someone suffers because intervention feels too dangerous. Silas set down his mop and grabbed the yellow caution sign. He walked toward the VIP elevators, placing the sign directly in Leon and Constance's path. Wet floor. Slippery surface. A small delay, maybe 30 seconds, but enough to reach the supply closet phone without being seen. Leon noticed the caution sign and frowned. He guided Constance toward the secondary hallway, his grip on her arm tightening just slightly. This hotel has excellent maintenance, he commented, his tone suggesting that excellent maintenance should not inconvenience him. Silas moved quickly once they passed. He reached the supply closet and grabbed the phone, dialing the 3-digit extension for security. Audrey Finn answered on the first ring. Maintenance? What do you need? This is Silas Henry from Day Shift, he said quietly, his voice steady despite the adrenaline flooding his system. I need you to watch the VIP route right now. The CEO is in danger. The man with her has a weapon. Do not approach directly. Silent response only. There was a pause. Then Audrey's voice came back. All business. I am looking at the cameras now. I see them. Are you certain about the weapon? She signed to me, Silas said. Sign language. She told me he has a gun and is forcing her to sign a contract. Another pause. Stay on this line. Do not hang up. Silas heard Audrey speaking rapidly to someone else, her words clipped and professional. Then she came back. I am sending Bridget to create a diversion in the main lobby. I need you to do something for me. Can you move slowly down the VIP hallway and create legitimate reasons for delays? Make it look like routine work. Buy us time to set up a controlled intervention. I can do that, Silas said, and he meant it. For 3 years, he had been invisible in this hotel. Today, invisibility would be his greatest weapon. Years ago, before Matilda was born, Silas had worked in private security, risk assessment for corporate clients. He had been good at it, staying calm under pressure, seeing threats before they materialized.